Uh, Today I'm going to talk about a different card game than what I did for my last video that being Yu-Gi-Oh. Today I'm going to talk about my deck for Hololive OCG or TCG I think. Well, I don't know. I think it's just TCG for the Hololive TCG, and I'm using Mono Azki. Well, I mean I use literal Azki. I also use Azki as my characters and so on. And I got good plays with this deck, and the deck is okay when it rolls, but the problem it has is that it's a bit slow. The reason why I'm going to tell you later, but first we need to talk about what how the deck looks like. First of all, 20 energy for green. Well, Aski only need green energy, so you only need a single one, a single energy for all of them. Use the Aski leader. Then first our debuts we use we simply only uses all this in 4 copies, this also 4 copies, this is simply actually just this, but I don't have the uh, time to buy one, so I'm just sparing by with what I have now. So 4 copies of this, some copies of this, and then 4 copies of this. You generally want probably like uh 2 or 3 more of this card. There's a card that you can replace in the deck that I can tell you later, but generally you want more, you want many access to debuts. And now that we're on the topic of debut, we also run some amount of uh Futsupasokon. I have 2 copies, so I run 2. You have 2 copies of Futsupasokon. You probably want 4 of this, but generally this is simply just a copy of this that you want to replace. So probably like 5 of this, 4 of this, 4 of this, and then 2. That's 5, 9, 13, 15. That's a good amount. You can probably go around 16, 17, or even 18 if you want, but I think this amount is already okay for the view. You don't want that many of them. The thing is, this debut is what you want to see in the early game, because its call-up effect is that you roll a die. If you get 4 or lower, you get to ramp energy for your other ASCII behind in your backstage, and that's pretty good. You want if your current center ASCII dies, or well, bench or whatever you call it, or just die, you want to immediately have another ASCII running about. But with only 1 energy per turn, you want to ramp as fast as possible, so you can get as many ASCIIs as you want later in the game. So that's for the debut. Next, for the firsts, we have this, this. I really don't think you need anything else to run. You just run as many of your first as possible, because genuinely this is your only access to first. If I recall correctly, you don't have any first. So max copies of everything. Playset of this one that lets you switch energies around, cheers around. Soras for the draw or ram in case you need to ram, and this one is just big HP for decks that can kill around 100 or 130. You just use this and then collab just to increase your amount of hollow power, and it can be safe. So that's basically it. You just want to have as many as possible, because you want to basically just keep evolving each turn. You want to play your debut and then evolve it immediately, so you get access to your level 3, level 2 skins immediately. 3 count of level 2 Azkis. Well, from the booster pack and from the starter deck. From the starter deck and the booster pack, you want to run four of both, but three of this one is also fine. I only run three. I only run three, but you probably want to run four in case you just don't find any of them, because they are your win con no matter what. You want to see as many of them as possible, and if they get stuck at your whole power, you just out of luck. So you want as many of this of possible, but you want as many copies as possible. But seven is still fine. You just have to realize that if you want to run as many as possible, you have to. You want four of this because it also heals, and sometimes healing is very good. Sometimes healing is very good, especially against deck that burns. So you just run this, evolve to heal 40, and then you can and then you can roll a die. If it's odd, you get to attach up to 3 energy to this. So sometimes you can just attach one and then evolve to this, and if you get lucky rolls, or you just declare odd numbers from your leader effect, then she can immediately attack. And this one, well, this is your finisher. It can hit 200 with your leader effect. You just declare one, you immediately hit 200, and that's enough to kill most level twos even itself. So in mirrors you get to pretty considerate with what you run, and against decks that has a lot of HP more than 200, you need to chip against them with one with a first number one. And then to the options. Well, finally enough, this is where I think the most changes you can bring up. As I run as many copies of all this as possible. 4 of Mane-chan, 4 of I don't know how to read this, 4 of Nodoka, and 4 of First Gravity. I think the card that you might change is probably either First Gravity or this one. I don't know what is this. What is this? The reason why you want to change either of these is because, well, first you might need more debut number, and you don't want to see a lot of limited to your hand. And second, Mikorona is a thing that exists right now, and Mikorona is straight up better than any of this, But for budget options, I think these two are still okay. But if you want to max tune, you want to change either 4 of these to Mikorona, and probably this for the for the max copies of the build, this one. You should run this one for more, probably. Or you can just run two, or you maybe run a Sora or something. It's fun. A Sora or something. But I think these are the most changeable spots in the game. Maybe even a single Mane-chan if you want to. Because I actually don't like Mane-chan. I'd rather have this two than Mane-chan. Well, for Nodoka is not negotiable. So that's how the deck looks like. So, what's the win con of the deck? Well, it's simple. This is the most fair deck I see in Hololive right now, because the only thing it does is you play your abuse, you play your abuse, and then you start attaching, and then you ram you if it hits you ram another, and then you evolve to a one, whether it can beat Peter and Beast. You usually want to use Soras, as Soras is the biggest attacker when it comes to your first. It has the biggest attack. It also may draw for some time. It can also sometimes draw, or ram it by itself, and then you evolve to a second. That's basically how the deck works. Like, it doesn't do anything bullshit. It doesn't do anything spicy. It's just the most straightforward deck you can play. You can play right now when it comes to Hololive. You just one, well, debut 1 energy, first 2 energy, second 3 energy. That's it. That's how the deck works. And with the hollow powers, with your leader has the ability to for each once per turn, you can use 3 hollow power to declare the next number of to declare to allow you to immediately declare the result of a die roll arts or character skill immediately. So you can just say 1 for this card to deal 200, and then your once per game you can attach any number of energy in your trash or archive to one of your green member, and that rarely comes up in this deck. But sometimes if you are desperate, it will come up. So basically the deck works is like that. You just with one energy you want one energy, two energy, one two energy, two. With first you want two energy, with second you want three energy. So basically what you want in the early game is you see a one, you see a two, you see a W. You see a W at least probably three. What do you want? This is how the best it looks like, because if this rams survive, this will rest itself, and then you collect again, and then it will ram this one, and then you just keep doing it, and then you just keep doing it until one of them has probably growth, probably two or three. If this one has two, you can immediately evolve it. If you have a second in your hand, or if you want to save it, you can just move it forward, evolve ram to this one, and then evolve it to first. Well, obviously it hinges on your die roll works. When I played this last week, I just don't hit any single rolls from this, so my board looks like absolute dog water. That's why I don't really have the best result last week. But that's that's simply it. The deck is very straightforward. It has its weaknesses. Basically you want to find your lines naturally. But if you find your lines, and it's not contested for a single turn, you just keep taunting people. Well, I guess most decks do that, but you also just keep taunting people with your leader effect. The problem with this deck is sometimes you just have to be mindful of your revolve because you have no way to recover energy from archive except from your leader effect or from your Oshi effect. But that's why you sometimes have to find the collab Azki, the collab W Azki. That's why you want it. But that's basically it. That's basically how pure ASCII works. So if you want to run this, then make sure to maybe uh, make sure to pray, or I don't know. Just make sure that something will help you to grant you the die roll you needed.